All right, guys, what's up? Welcome to Onelife Podcast. Today we've got Sonny with us.
Hey, how's it going?
If you haven't seen his face, if you're in Las Vegas, you've probably seen his face pop up on social media.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Yeah. The thing I admire about you is you're very present on social media. You're very, very positive. You're very encouraging.
Yeah.
I've never seen someone get behind so many people so consistently.
Yeah.
And it seems authentic and it seems real. So like, big thumbs up to that.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate that too.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for noticing.
Yeah. Like, I'm very present on social media and I like to think I'm doing the same thing.
Right.
But you're just so encouraging and you just seem to want to help grow others.
Right.
And that's very rare. Like, can you relate to that? Or maybe you got the right crowd around you.
So I mean, like I said, well, if you don't know me yet, that's really I'm passionate about everything that I do. Anything that I get into, I'm really passionate about it. And it just stemmed off of me wanting to help other people because I've been in their same situation.
Yeah.
As far as being a small business owner, running a family business. That's really what got me into the whole social media. Let's help the small business as much as I can.
So you put yourself in their shoes where they're
exactly,
at the time.
Because back in 2016, our family had a business going here in Vegas, and it failed miserably.
What type of business was it?
We used to do office supplies.
Okay.
Because my parents are from, my dad's been in the office supply business for 40 plus years in the Middle East. So we tried to recreate that kind of thing over here, and it long story short, it failed miserably. Put my thinking cap on. I was like, why did it fail?
I like how you're thinking that.
Right. It's like,
what did we do wrong? What we could have done better?
And first thing clicked to my head is social media. We never really took advantage of it.
Listen to this, guys.
Right? Yeah.
Listen to this.
We never really thought about the whole social media. I mean, it's like office supplies. Nobody really cares about office supplies.
Yeah, how does that make sense?
How does that make sense? But I guess we could have put our creative hats on and made some kind of buzz on social media.
Or just tried, right?
Or at least tried, which we never did.
I like how real you are about it.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah,
right?
no, but I appreciate the fact you being generally honest about it.
And that's that's one thing. Second thing was the whole aspect of community support. It means huge for small business owners, especially the little mom and pops that are coming in town. Everybody that's put their whole life savings, especially after the pandemic. Everybody that's gotten laid off from the strip, high-paying jobs. They got laid off and they were like, what are we going to do? And they go start a business of their own.
Yeah. So talk to me about the community support. Like, what is that to you? And why is it important?
Well, going back to owning a small business or running a small business, a family business, community support has a lot to do with how your business would fail or succeed.
Okay.
Because if you don't have people, it could be something as simple as a like, a share, a comment.
Even like word of mouth.
Word of mouth. I mean, well, I go back to liking and commenting and sharing because the world that we live in right now, social media is huge.
The average person's on the phone 3 to 6 hours a day on social media.
Yes.
I don't think people realize that.
The people don't. And for me, it's like
obviously you though, because you're taking advantage of it.
Way more than 3 to 6 hours.
Oh, you really? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When do you get that? 8 years got an iPhone?
I have an Android phone. Actually.
Do you get a check-in at the end of the week? How many hours you spent per day on your phone?
I probably shouldn't because I'm gonna shit myself.
Do you get that check-in though?
I do get it, but I don't look at it. Because I'm like,
I'd be interested.
I probably spend way too much time on social media.
I can honestly say like mine's high, but I would say 80 to 90% of it is work related and me grinding, which I'm okay with.
Right.
It still sucks because I'm like, that's a lot of my life.
Yeah.
But it's not me just aimlessly flicking through TikTok.
Right.
And I feel like that's a difference.
So it goes a little bit of both ways, right? So you're most of it's work, obviously. And for me, at work, I've got two screens to look at, so I've got one screen got works going. I've got the other screen, Facebook's on. So I've kind of built like a PR system into my whole work that I do kind of thing. So anytime somebody asks for an insurance agent, I see my tag, I go jump on it, boom, 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 we're done. And as you know, I started a little side business too with the media stuff. Just not as good as you are, but I try to do what I can.
It doesn't matter though. I feel like there's never been a better time to just take action and use your phone.
Right.
And perfection is paralysis. And I feel like the rough stuff, the organic stuff, does way better than the polished stuff.
Right. Yeah. 100%. I totally agree with that. It gets way more views.
It's more relatable. If you just if I pick up my phone in the car and talk to it, I get way more views than I do some pretty polished, perfect video.
Right.
Which sucks.
Yeah,
but
I know.
it is what it is.
Yeah,
but I think a combination of both is very
so
important.
we deploy a little bit of both. So where was I going with that? Oh yeah, so I have a Facebook, my Facebook page is open on one screen. I've got my work screen on the other, working away. I'll get a ping for something. Somebody tagged me on something. It could be insurance. It could be some of the new food trucks that come in town. They need media help or videographer or something even as simple as, hey, do you know a landscaper in town or a new pool company? Or it's like people hit me up. Sometimes it gets a little overwhelming. People tag me in everything now. It's
but you've built yourself up to that, being I wouldn't say middleman, but that communicator. That what's a better word for that? There's literally a really good book out on that. There's a really good. It's called Blue Oceans, I think. It's a really good business book, and this guy makes a lot of money by being that person who connects people together.
So I mean, I don't do it for the money.
No, I'm just saying, but
I probably should.
There's a lot of power in it.
I probably should maybe try to monetize on it, but right now I don't. It's just let me help my people out.
You like helping others. But what it's doing is getting your face out there.
Yes, and
that's like I knew you by name. I knew what you looked like. I knew what you sounded like. I knew you were trustworthy just by your presence on social. And I stress that all the time.
Yes, and I believe in that 100%. I mean, when I first started 2.5 years ago with this whole Facebook Live or putting myself out there and putting my face on social media, I wasn't comfortable with it. I was
talk to me about that.
Well, I mean, if you
because a lot of people don't take action because they're not comfortable.
Right.
What are people going to think? What are my parents going to think? I'm overweight. I'm not pretty. I'm not this.
Or something as simple as I don't like listening to my own voice on video. I used to be that guy. I used to be like, hey, I'm not that good. I mean, I'm awkward as heck. It's like I didn't want to do this in the beginning, but I don't know. It was just something that stuck with me. The consistency was big in my head.
Did the consistency help you get through the awkwardness?
Oh, yes, 100%.
The fear of it?
100%. 100%. Now, anywhere I go, it's like if I don't have my phone, if I'm not doing a Facebook Live or if I'm not filming something, I'm uncomfortable. It's
That's
like, I have to do it now.
Can you honestly say that nobody cares? Nobody's really looking at you like, oh, everyone's worried about what you're thinking about them.
I mean, maybe the haters out there might say, I was like, oh, but
if you don't care. Haters, you're not doing anything.
Exactly.
Right?
And I don't care about the haters. The haters just keep me going even harder. And quite honestly, at this point, I just don't care. I just get in front of the camera. I do what I came here to do. I mean, something as simple as going to the Las Vegas Raiders game last night. It was just, I just wanted to show people, hey, this is what the tailgating looks like at a Raiders football game.
Okay.
If you guys ever do make it down to a game, make sure to check out the tailgate, right? It's like, I put that on Facebook Live yesterday. And a lot of people did comments. I said, oh, we didn't know the tailgate gets this big and it gets so crowded. I mean, I don't know if you saw my video yesterday.
No,
it was packed, a packed house in the parking lot. And people are having fun, having a good old time. They got free tacos, they got free food,
and you're just showcasing that.
Just showcasing that.
And you're probably enjoying it, right?
I loved it.
Have you got a wife or something you do this with? You do it by yourself?
I do it by myself. My wife takes care of the kids. She stays home and takes care of the kids.
Why by yourself? It's just because you can rely on yourself to do it? You're just self-driven? It's hard to find. Like I find the same thing. I do all of it by myself.
Yeah.
It's hard to find someone who wants to commit the same.
My wife's kind of an introvert. She doesn't like to be on camera.
So were you at one point, right?
I was at one point, but she's
which is okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. It is what it is.
But yeah, I'll just go to a restaurant. When we go out to eat, we go out to eat together. But I'm on my phone. It's like I get shit for that all the time. It's like, put your phone away. But it's like I said, it's part of my life now. It's like every time I go out to eat, if I get food to go, or even something as simple as when I do insurance for somebody, like when I do insurance for a lot of food trucks in town. It's like I find a way to turn that into content as well.
Documenting, not creating, right?
Exactly.
You a Gary Vee fan?
You know what? I wasn't until recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought he would have been a good push behind you.
No, actually, I know of who Gary Vee is, and I did know that in the past, but I never really got into his videos or anything like that.
Yeah, because he's big on document rather than creating.
Right.
And that's exactly
now that I know
and you're literally documenting what you do.
Right. And now I do insurance I've done insurance for a multitude of different industries, right? From food trucks to restaurants to custom ironworking people. And so I've done insurance for them. When I did their insurance, I go and document it. It's like, hey guys, I did insurance for custom so-and-so, it's like, just document everything that you do. That's content. Everything's awesome. Content.
And it's putting your face out there. It's earning trust.
Right.
It's showing people that you're working with.
Right.
And then directly providing value. Indirectly, you're getting your clients from it, I'm sure, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And even this, I think potentially, I'm meeting so many business owners, so many people.
Right.
Indirectly, it's probably going to lead to more work and more opportunities for me and more networking.
100%.
Because it's very hard to connect with certain people.
Yes.
And you've found a way to doing it, haven't you?
I sure have. How? I don't know. And it goes back to what you said. It's like people see your face. They know who you are. Somehow, shape or form, that turns into some sort of trust there, because it's not like I'm not just putting BS out there.
Yeah.
And like, no, I put myself in. I bring myself to. I put it on Facebook Live. It's most of the stuff that I do. I put it on live. It's not even like edited stuff.
Yeah.
It's like real stuff happening in real time.
You're not pretending to be someone else.
No.
You're being 100 authentic to yourself. And people are going to like you or they're not.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
You try to impress everybody, you impress nobody.
Yeah, correct.
And I like the fact, because then when you meet you're exactly the same person.
Right. And it's happened countless times already now. People see my stuff on Facebook, and half of the people, my followers, my friends, family, whatever you want to call it. Well, not my family, but
your online family,
my online family, friends, and followers. When for the first time they meet me in person, it's like, hey, how are you? Come on, brother, give me a hug. It's like
how cool is that?
And it feels good. It's like and that's what I want. I want that for everybody.
That's awesome, isn't it?
There's
been a few times that someone stopped me on the street, recognized me on the street, and they're like, "Thank you so much. That video you did 6 months ago changed my business. It made me think this way. I started posting more."
Yes.
And you have no idea who's watching, who isn't watching.
Exactly.
And for me, I don't get a lot of comments, a lot of likes. I think you get a lot more than I do. I think you're doing a much better job than I am with that. But one view is one view. You're one view. You're one person.
Right.
You have your own friends, your own family, your own business.
So I actually saw this post the other day. I meant to reshare it, but then I forgot. But I think I have it screenshot or saved in my phone somewhere. The thing about likes. People talk about, if you don't have, I don't even know the exact number, but if you don't have 10,000 likes or 10,000 views, it doesn't mean anything. But think about it like this: when you make a post and you only have 50 likes, as opposed to the next person has 1,000 likes, right? You think about it like this: if those 50 people who liked your post came to you in person, how overwhelmed would you be?
Crazy.
Right? And like those 50 people that come to you and say, hey, or instead of a like, they said, hey, great job. That was a great post. 50 people coming to you within a span of an hour or 2 hours. How overwhelming would that be?
That's insane.
Right? Like I saw that post and I was like, right, so who cares about these likes?
And then you can talk depth versus width. Have you ever heard that? So depth versus width. Width meaning, say you touch 10,000 people.
Right.
And depth meaning you touched 100 people. Those 100 people will trust you, buy from you, and hire you.
Right.
Because you've touched them more importantly than just a broader audience.
Right.
And I feel like you got a lot more depth than anything.
Yes, and I would like to think so. Yes.
Which is the most important thing.
Right, and that's been my driving force, and I mean that's what keeps me going. Because it's not just a like or it's like that actually turns into something. It's like half of the people that, I want to say more than half of the people that like my stuff, share my stuff, comment on my stuff, they're either a client of mine or a client of a friend of mine, or
potential client,
or I've helped them out in some shape, way, or form that they trust me enough to bring me back to say, hey, you couldn't help me at this time, but maybe down the road you can help me with something.
Yeah, absolutely. Or you're humble enough to refer to someone else.
Oh, 100%.
Which is, I feel like, is huge.
So
I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, if I can't do it, no one can do it.
No.
I'll definitely, hey, this is not my expert field. Right. I don't want to do this. There's someone else better for this.
Right.
Try this
100%. I think I've even reached out to you. This was like in the beginning stages of my social media content creation thing. It's like somebody needed some kind of drone footage, and I think I reached out to you. But the deal didn't end up happening anyway.
But just the fact you do that, right? It's huge.
Like, that's one example. Second thing is like I'm like I said, I'm a insurance advisor by trade, by full time. That's my bread and butter right there. But I have friends at every other insurance company that you can think of. So I don't want to name names, but I work for a certain company. I have friends that work at, so I work at A company. They work at B. I have a friend that works at C, or a friend that works at D.
Yeah.
If somebody reaches out to me for an insurance quote and I can't get them a better deal or I can't save them some money, guess what I'm doing? Picking up my phone, texting A, B, C, D, E. Whoever comes back with the best deal, I hook them up with the client.
How good's that?
It's like nobody else does that.
That's amazing.
So the reason behind that is I learned from a really good mentor in the insurance gig before I switched ships to another company. And he taught me this. His name's Nicholas Saka. Shout out to my guy. And he taught me this, that you have to make friends like that because it's a referral
they do it
business.
Back to you too,
it's
right?
Like, then we do it right back to each other. So it's like, I send you something today, you might send me something tomorrow or maybe next month, and in the insurance world, it's a big thing. It's like sometimes it can make or break your quota from hitting your bonus or not hitting your bonus. And so it's huge. So I'm a huge believer in that. Some people don't like that. Some agents, insurance agents are like, no, they're not your friends. Okay, bye. I'm not friends with you anymore, but I'm gonna make a friend with another one. It's like,
talk to me about so building your brand. I feel like a lot of people don't understand this. And building a brand being building your brand under your name.
Right.
And it's kind of like an umbrella.
Yeah.
So for me, I build my personal name, but under it, I do podcasts, videography, photography, social media management, drone stuff. And then if I want to become a realtor, insurance broker, I've already built my following. I've built my trust.
Right.
Talk to me in depth about
the importance of doing
that. Because I feel like you understand
that. Yes, 100%. And excuse me. I just had an energy drink. It's coming up. Building a brand is 100%
your personal brand, right?
Personal brand, important, very important. That's why I don't like to name the insurance companies for that reason. It's like, so when I first started into the insurance in the insurance industry, I used to say Sunny with.
Oh, did you? Okay.
But I was like, why am I advertising? They're not paying for my advertising. They're not paying for my branding.
And then you're kind of locked on too, aren't you?
Right.
Yeah.
So, and that's exactly. That's why I don't like to name names because, well, one, there's copyright issues and we're not allowed to. But
yeah.
But that's yes. That's
so you kind of understood that.
I 100% understood that from the. So not from the very beginning, but as I started to.
Yeah, me either. Not from the very beginning.
Right.
But now you're starting to build your name.
Yeah, about 6 months into it, I was like, you know what? I'm going to remove their names. I'm going to be Sunny the insurance guy, Sunny your notary guy, Sunny the media guy, however you want to see me as. And I mean, on social media, I've got different pages for everything. But my main page is my personal page. It's not a personal page anymore. That's my brand. It's like, I turned that personal page. So it's like when I first, before I really got into the whole social media thing, I had maybe 500 friends on Facebook. But then I turned it into a brand. And now, I mean, my Facebook page is maxed out at, I think, 5,000 or $49.99 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that. People ask me, it's like,
oh my God,
hey.
I love talking to you.
It's like people ask me, it's like, why do you have so many? They're not your real friend. No, they're not. It's a business page. It's a branding page.
It's a networking
It's a networking page. That's why social media exists. It's for networking. It's to build your brand. It's to put your content out there. And that's
if you're a business guy, right? If you just got a family and you don't do business, right. have it small.
Right, that's fine.
But I have 4,999 friends too, because I understand.
Right.
The more people who know who I am, the more people are likely to use me, recommend me, get 100%. To know me, trust me, use me.
Yes.
You can have the best product in the world, but if no one knows about it, no one's going to use it.
100%.
And you're 100% taking advantage of that. I love hearing this.
And I think I built. Well, I can't say I built it because it's as simple as just sending a friend request, right?
But I mean, you still get the right people.
So to anybody else out there that is looking to get into any kind of professional service, that's my biggest thing is don't worry about what anybody else says. Just go create your own brand. That be you're a realtor, you're an insurance guy, videographer, anything, content creator.
And it's interesting too because like even my posts, nobody will really comment, nobody really likes it, and then I'll see someone I haven't seen for 6 months. Right. And they'll know every single thing I've done every single day. So they're watching. Yeah. They're not engaging, but they know what I'm doing, and that's all I need.
Right. And prime example. Yesterday I was at the Raiders tailgate. As I'm walking into the tailgate, I see people, and I know they know me. And it's like, hey, Sonny, what's up? Hey, Sonny, what's up? I'm walking through. I mean, I think I was walking down the tailgate, and I'm on Facebook Live, and people are coming. Hey, Sonny, what's up? Hey, it's like, and it feels good. It's not. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like it feels good as in it's an ego boost. It is a little bit, but it also tells you that you're doing something right. People actually enjoy.
You're doing something right.
People actually enjoy or care about what I'm putting out.
And you're not up there in a bikini shaking your boobs or your butt. You're providing value.
Right, 100%. Every single post that I do is showing something or is letting the people of Vegas or Henderson know that something's going. And I mean, something as simple as grand openings coming into town. There's a couple of new food trucks coming in town. I like to let people know. It's like, hey, there's the new food truck coming in town. At least if one person sees my post and learns about this new restaurant or food truck, or I feel like my job's done.
Just one person.
Just one person. That's all I care about.
I say that all the time.
I've said this from.
If you influence one person, that's all you need.
I've said it from day one when I first started. Because people ask me this all the time. Why do I do what I do? Because if one person sees my posts and learns about a new spot that opened in town, maybe that could be their make it or break it moment, right? I deal with a multitude of different types of business owners ranging from a food truck, small restaurant, huge restaurants, big car dealerships that do, big things. So I see everything ranging from, hey, Sonny, I don't know how I'm going to make it this month. So especially for those guys, it's like, what can I do to help you get you some kind of recognition or some kind of exposure out there, that so people can see, and it people care, and those people that are hurting, they care even more because they see. Some of the people, I just go there and I help them out as a friend. I mean, it's like they tell me, it's like, Sonny, I need help with this, I need help with that. Even though I do also do that for a business now, I could charge them for that. But in my eyes, I see it as, I help them out today. Maybe it will come back later for me. Maybe it won't.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And that's the way I've seen this thing from the very beginning, and I think that's what keeps me going, and I think that's what keeps people entertained, or not entertained, but interested in what I have to say or what I have to post, is because of that. I'm not just always posting about. I mean, I could just always post about the fancy cars and the shit that I insure and just keep it that way. So people think I'm this, he's
trying to create this perception.
No. Yeah. Yes, I do that. And that is a majority of my bread and butter, because insurance on these damn cars are not cheap.
Yeah.
So it does pay my bills, sort of. But the other side of things that people also see, I do that because some of them happen to be my friends, and I just want to help them out.
Talk to me about, you've got a business and they're starting to post on social. They're starting to make an effort, and they're not seeing anything. And you've been there, I've been there. How do you get past that? Nobody cares. How do you stay consistent when nobody cares? Like,
so I want to say,
it's discouraging, right?
It is very discouraging. It's
a lot of work for a little effort.
100%. I mean, again, in the beginning stages of me in the insurance gig, or even in the media gig, it was. I mean, I started in the insurance. It was all in the beginning, before I even got into the social media thing. It was pounding the phones. It's like the cold calling, the calling the leads. Yeah. It's like I have to create my own business. So it's the first couple months were rough with that kind of thing, and then getting into the social media side of things. I don't know where I was going with this.
Tell me if you can relate to this. Is like, I'll be posting, and nobody's engaging.
Oh yes.
And then all of a sudden I'll get a call, and someone's like, "I've been following you for 12 months.
Right.
I love what you do.
Right.
Love your work.
Yeah.
I'm now ready to use you."
Right.
Do you find that too?
Oh, 100%.
It's crazy, right?
Actually, matter of fact, I might have maybe 2, maybe 3 messages on my Facebook Messenger right now. Hey, Sonny, I know you've been an insurance guy. I know you insure a lot of food trucks in town. I'm finally ready to review my insurance.
Finally ready to use you.
Finally ready to.
And how many insurance brokers in town? Thousands, right?
Oh yeah,
a lot of competition.
There's I think I want to say about 1,800 agents, but then you have also producers under.
And why do they come to you? They came to you because you were top of mind. You built that trust. You had that consistency, and same as what I do.
Yeah.
Stay top of mind.
And that's all you have to do.
And consistency probably being the most important thing.
And like the point that you made earlier, it's like, it doesn't have to be perfect. Whatever content you do, just do it. Just use your cell phone. It could be. I mean, I started just on my cell phone, and I mean, 95% of the stuff I do is still on my cell phone.
But it's working.
It's working.
Even right now, we're sitting in my spare bedroom. Yeah. Backdrop put up, a couple of lights.
Yeah, right.
But we're doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it. And that's huge. And that's been my driving force is I mean, you also hear it all the time. It's like consistency is key. Consistency is key. What does that mean? It means exactly that. Consistency
with anything.
With anything.
Training, weight loss, business, anything worthwhile doesn't happen overnight.
No, it does not. And this brand that I'm building, and it's actually
I like that. This brand I'm building.
It's all mostly on Facebook, right? It's like, well, people that I've met in person, or if I've done some kind of dealings with you. I try to get your cell phone number. Now it's like a personal level. It's not just, I'm not just a social media. I'm not just a friend on Facebook. Now we have your personal information. If you need anything, let me know.
You build that rapport, right?
Right.
But you use social to get to that point. Like you and I have built rapport.
Right. Yeah. And that's all it's about.
Whatever it takes, right?
Whatever it takes. Put your face out there.
Talk to me about rejection. It's a big one, right? So for me personally, I reach out to a lot, even my podcast, right? I'm reaching out to a lot of people, ignore it, like it, this, that. But then 1 out of 50, like, hey, I'll be there tomorrow.
Right.
Like you, I reached out to you, like, hey, I'll be there on Monday.
You reached out to me 4 days ago, I'm here.
It wasn't, I think it was like 3 days ago.
It's okay.
But here you are.
Yeah.
And if you don't ask, you don't get.
Exactly.
And the wider you spread your web, the wider you spread your web, the more people you reach out to, the more likely you are to convert, right?
Yes.
And talk to me about your experience with that.
So the rejection thing was, it was hard in the beginning because, you know, in the beginning you don't have that what you've already built. So
like the following, the credibility.
Now I have that.
That's what I'm experiencing with this podcast. Is no one really knows about it yet.
Right.
In 6 months, 2 years, 5 years time, it's going to get a lot easier.
Oh, I've been watching your podcast,
which is awesome.
So I've
but that's probably what helped you lead.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Here, right? But if you're my first guest, you'd be like, what's this about?
I would still give it a try.
Well, I mean, a normal person, right? Would probably be a little bit more hesitant. It's like, who's this guy? Oh, he's invited me around his house.
Right. And, you know, for me, you're right. Maybe not if I was the first guest. Well, actually, I take that back because I've seen your work. I know what you do. I mean, so, and a podcast is a new thing to your portfolio. Hey, I'm here to help you out too.
But I've also kind of built that trust by doing other things under my brand, right? And that helped lead you into the podcast.
Exactly.
So even I'm a photographer, that helped you bring here today just by being present on social.
Right.
And that's what you're getting at, isn't it?
Right, exactly. And
what's your rejections? Like, what type of stuff are you getting rejected? Obviously, like with insurance.
Mostly it's on the insurance side of things. It's the company that I represent is not the cheapest insurance, if you will.
Okay.
We charge a premium for what we do, and the company that I work for happens to be one of the top insurance companies out here. So when it comes to doing a sale, or I don't like to say I sell insurance. I'm an insurance advisor, right? I don't like to sell it.
That sounds less.
It's like I tell people this all the time. It's like actually my first job, my first insurance job. It's like my boss printed me out business cards, and it said sales representative. I said, can we change that? Say insurance advisor. Because I'm not a salesperson. I'm not trying to sell you something. I'm trying to advise you on what you should have.
Yeah.
It's up to you to make the decision. So as far as rejection goes, especially because I work for this company and work for this major insurance company, it's always about the price, right? So do I get rejection? Yes. Do I overcome the objection and the rejection most of the time? Yes. But you still have that 5% it doesn't matter to them if it's
develop a thicker skin, right? The more you do it, the less you realize it's not personal.
It's not. It's not, and
that's hard to get past it.
Oh yeah, 100%, and especially when I'm talking about pricing and stuff like that. For instance, now I've come to the realization not everybody can afford the best of the best, just like somebody can't afford a Lamborghini right off the bat. They have to start on a Toyota, and I understand that part of it now. So it's like, and then anytime I do anything for anybody now, I tell them, it's, look, this is what I can offer. This is the best coverage you will get for the price you're paying.
Yeah.
And if insurance is never 100% black or white, there are very minuscule gray areas. So even I could put together the best policy for you. 99.9% of the things that could go wrong in your business or your personal insurance, whatever that may be, 99% of those things will be covered under a package policy that I put together for you. Again, there's sometimes I learned earlier in my career, never say 100%, because it has happened and it will happen again. I've done it in the past. I say, anything A to Z, 100%, anything happens, it's covered. And then it sure enough happened one time where it was a very odd situation. Something happened, put in a claim. The claim got denied because it was on a food truck. The food truck was parked at a different address that was not listed on the insurance. Okay. Long story short, the claim wasn't covered. So I don't say 100% anymore, 99.9%.
Mistake and
yes, it's like, gotcha. So going back to, what were we talking about?
What were you touching?
So insurance covers 99.9% of things. I put together packages for people and I say, look, that's the best I can offer at the best. And people don't realize, especially when it comes to business insurance, it's not so cut and dry, black and white. It's like you just put in the information and it spits out a number. That's 99.9% of the time. That's how personal insurance works. Like your personal home and auto insurance, we just put in the information. Depending on your driving history, your insurance history, it spits back a number at us. That's where we're at. When it comes to commercial insurance, we have the option to go to the underwriter and say, hey, this business has been in business for so long. They've got great insurance history. They've got great claims history. They don't zero claims in the past 10 years they've been in business. So we paint a picture for the underwriter, and I do my job as an insurance advisor, and I'm repping my clients now when I go to the underwriter and say, hey, this is why they deserve some discounts. And like I said, I tell this to everybody. I do my very best, 100%. I put my everything into it to get that client the best deal possible, especially when it comes to commercial insurance, because insurance is just one of the many bills that businesses have to pay.
But you also, if they can't afford it, you will refer them other places. You'll change the policy.
Right.
You'll kind of work with. You're not like just take it or leave it.
Sometimes.
But then you might. But then referring someone else is more in the price range, right?
Right. Or I will. I make it very clear, or we can go this plan B, where we reduce some of the coverages, but I'm going to need you to sign this saying that I explained everything to you.
Okay.
And you're choosing to go with the lower coverages because if something happens down the road, I cover my own ass.
Gotcha.
And that's in insurance, that's really huge because people have lost licenses because of that. And that's why when I preach insurance is all about coverage. There's a reason behind that. It's like, I don't want to lose my license over something stupid. I was like, it's like I could cut your coverages in half and I can save you money, a bunch of money, but I need you to sign saying that you understand what you're giving up for the cheaper price.
Talk to me about like leading by example. So like you and I preach to businesses, post on social media, build your brand, and it's a lot easier to do that when you're doing it, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I feel like so many people sit back and this is what you're supposed to do. But you and I are out there hustling every day, 100%. Leading by example, and someone just wants to look us up like, he's preaching what he does. That's powerful, isn't it?
And it's very powerful because, and this happens almost on if not a daily basis, a weekly basis. New business coming in town, and I tell them, look, you need to. If you want if you want to be successful in today's day and age, you have to be on social media. You put your face on it.
Just say that again for me. Say that again for me.
It's like if you want to make it now in today's world, you have to be on social media. You have to be on social media.
Whether you like it or not.
Whether you like it or not.
How old you are, whether you understand it, whether you like it, you got to figure it out.
Yes. If you can't do it yourself, hire somebody that can do it.
Or if you're too old, you're not too old.
You're not too old.
Or you're too busy. You need to free up some time.
Especially if you care about your business and you want to make sure your business.
That's the thing, right? What is it like? 9 out of 10 businesses fail, and then 90% of those businesses fail in the next 5 years.
Right,
and it's very hard to have a successful business.
And to keep it going for at least 5 years.
And that's the thing. There's always someone as soon as you start pushing, it starts slowing down.
Yes,
full stop.
And it is very hard in today's day and age for someone to keep the motivation up, right?
And the momentum too,
and the
right?
momentum.
Yeah. I've been there. I'm sure you have too, right?
Oh yeah.
Especially with social.
Yes.
It's a full-time job.
And then sometimes it's like, and then sometimes you get that thought in your head. It's like, do people really care? Do people really watch this?
Yeah.
Do people really care if I edit it this way or if I edit it the other way or if I just post a raw footage of something? Do people really care?
Yeah.
They don't.
And if you go back to they talk about it. So back in the day when there's TV ads and TV was the only media, whoever spent the most money on ads got the most business.
Yes.
And then you now have something in your hand, something in your pocket for free, which
for the most part,
for free. That you can use at any time, 24 hours a day, and reach ridiculous amount of people.
Yes.
And people don't take advantage of it.
It blows my mind.
It's absolutely nuts, right?
Yes.
And they wonder why the business isn't growing or scaling or they're not getting new clients.
Yes. I 100%.
And it doesn't have to be polished.
It doesn't.
It can be so raw.
Yes. And I'm actually I don't know if I've seen your older stuff, but all your new stuff looks great. So for me, all my old shit was shit.
and that's huge, right? Understanding that you're going to suck when you start.
Yes.
You're going to be awkward on camera. You're going to mumble. You're going to be soft. You're going to look around.
Oh, yeah.
But the more you do something, what is it? A good public speaker isn't born. They're made.
Yes.
It's exactly the same as being on camera.
100%. I still probably wouldn't get up and
I don't think I'd be a good public speaker, but put me in front of a camera, it's completely comfortable.
100%. Yeah, I don't know how I made it through college for my public speaking classes, but I did. And actually, I made some people laugh in my public speaking.
Nice.
So that maybe that gave me a little push at the end of the day. I don't know. Maybe it did. But going back to social media and just posting away, it doesn't have to be. In the beginning, I used to have to shoot myself probably 15, 20 times. I was like, that doesn't look good. That doesn't look good. And it's like,
now you probably don't care.
Now I don't even care. I shoot it one time, let's go, post it. And now most of the stuff is live. It's like, I don't
it's funny, right? You're just like, why am I worried about this little thing?
Who cares? If it looks good, it looks good. If it doesn't.
The crazy thing that blows my mind is when someone picks on your grammar or your spelling, or you put out this nice piece of content providing a lot of value, and then somebody will pick on something non-related. I'm like, is that really what you're worried about?
Yeah.
I'm like, you really took the time to comment on this when I'm talking about this?
Nothing else better to do? Please go ahead. Yeah.
So my first video on this channel, I was in a rush. I was like, everyone's like, oh, you're breathing, you're out of breath. It was my first video. I was obviously probably nervous. I was talking too fast. If you took the time to watch any other video of the hundreds on there, you realize like, oh, maybe that was a one-off.
Yeah.
But everyone's like focused on this one. I was like,
and it will happen. It's gonna happen. Yeah. It's inevitable.
And then you got to learn not to get caught up on that.
Right.
Like I reached out to someone the other day on Instagram. I got the meanest message back. And I was like, oh, thank you so much for being so nice. And he wrote something mean back again. I was like, thanks for being so supportive. And then he's like, and then he totally flipped. And he turned friendly. And that was my goal. I'm like, I'm not going to get in this feud with some person I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
I don't care because like the reason I work with some of the biggest companies here in town is from these messages.
Right.
If you're one person getting upset by this, get upset by this.
Yeah.
It's not going to stop me doing what I do.
100%. And like I said, it's inevitable. It's gonna come back. If not that person, maybe five people down the road, it's gonna come back again.
Absolutely.
And you just have to. And it's happened to me too. Do I want to mention this on camera? I don't know, but it happens. It's people will say everything, that maybe sometimes it's direct, sometimes it's indirect. And it's happened to me before where I have taken it personal and I rebuttal on it. And sometimes the rebuttal actually works, sometimes it doesn't. And so I go back and it's like, oh, I got to delete this post. And I was like, that was not. I was like, that was just childish. I
feel like we're all being there. And then the more you grow, you more realize that like,
right. Yeah.
Whatever.
So now it's like, and something as simple as it was a post. I didn't mean it to be political. It was a long time ago. I made a post about I can't remember exactly what happened, but it was a post that I posted I thought was funny. Some people took it the wrong way and turned it personal and political, and I was like, come on, people! This is social media. If you don't like to see what I have to post, there's the unfollow button.
Yeah, you can unfollow me or delete me. Simple as that, right?
Simple as that. So, and I doubted myself when that happened, and I sent that to a couple of my friends, and I said, hey, it's like, what do you think about this? And they're like, fuck them. So excuse my language.
No, it's totally fine.
They said, forget about them. It's you do you. That's if they don't like you, they show them the door.
But the people who don't like you are the ones who aren't going to not follow you.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
But if you still choose to stay on there, then that's your choice, and it's going to keep coming, and be prepared for it.
If I get like a bad comment or something mean, and I partially read it and I know where it's headed, delete.
Yeah.
As soon as I delete it, guess what? It goes away.
Actually, you know what? Instead of deleting it, what I learned is you can hide on Facebook at least. I don't know about Instagram.
Oh yeah. Hide it. Yeah.
You hide it so you still have the
engagement.
The engagement on there.
Interesting. But you're not seeing it.
It's like,
I like that.
No one sees it.
Actually, so either way,
if you hide
right?
it, no one can see it, right?
Oh, okay.
And it's like it's just there. It's just there as a comment, so it's still helping towards your engagement. So I'm maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's it helps a little bit by doing that. So the person sees that it's hidden. So now the ball's in my court, baby. It's like your comment's on there, but nobody can see what it says.
Have you got a structure to your social? Do you have a certain amount of posts? What platforms are you using? Do you use them all? Are you doing long form, short form content? Are you just whatever kind of works at the time?
Quite honestly, I don't have a structure for that.
Okay.
It just whatever happens. It comes, and like I said, everything is almost just about real-time content that I post.
Okay, using Facebook primarily.
Facebook primarily.
Okay.
The reason I go Facebook primarily is because my type of crowd that I'm going after for the insurance, for notary, are mostly people that are in that demographic, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Because nobody cares about insurance on Instagram or
TikTok.
So now I'm talking myself out of it.
But I get what you mean. You're more aware. You're more self-aware of what works for what type of content.
Right.
Whereas the food stuff probably is really good on TikTok, Instagram.
Right. And that's not my bread and butter. So I do that as a hobby, like I said. But my partner that I'm partnered up with for the media side of things, he runs. When we do get accounts for social media management or content creation, he handles all the Instagram and TikTok side. And another thing is I honestly don't have the time for it with the stuff that I've got going on right now.
Okay.
So he handles that side of it. Everything on Facebook I handle. And again, primary reason why we go back to Facebook for me is there's already a PR portion built into Facebook because there's Facebook groups, and I think I'm on every Facebook group in Las Vegas that you can think of.
Honestly, that's a really good tip there, right?
Yes.
If you're not part of Facebook groups, like especially local ones, become part of those.
Yeah,
groups.
100%.
There's so many business pages. There's so many like Centennial Hills, Henderson pages, park pages,
parent pages,
photography, videography.
Restaurants, doctors pages.
I'm not even part of those. Because I was thinking about how to get new guests. I'm like, there's so many business pages out there. I could just put a post on one of those. And probably get a ton of people.
100%. The business pages, the networking pages. So that's another main reason I'm mainly focused on Facebook for that reason too, is because I want to say on probably 90% of the groups that I'm part of, there's at least 3 or 4 people that know me that are also part of the group. And if they see some post about insurance, I'm getting tagged on it.
That's huge power in that, right?
Huge.
Yeah. That's another power of social media.
Yeah.
It's like you build that trust, people get to know you. I'm like, oh, so-and-so's looking for a videographer. Boom.
Tag.
And so I know a videographer. He posts on my page every day.
Yeah.
I know he's good.
Yeah.
Let's tag him.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's so powerful,
and
right?
people don't realize it's almost like a built-in PR platform, if you will, because somebody's or something as simple as some of the clients that we work with. One of them's a bakery, and somebody sees a post about looking for a cake or looking for a wedding cake. I get tagged in it, and I'm tagging my clients on it. It's like,
which is awesome, right?
And I'm taking a screenshot of it, sending it to my clients, like, "Hey, get on this now." And that's the PR portion built into it.
And there's a way where you could get a retainer or some type of commission.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not why you do it, but it's a way of making money.
Oh yeah. Again, I don't do it for that, but it's there.
Like even me, if someone refers me to a wedding and I'm making $2,000, I'll give them $250 cash or something, just like thank you, because I wouldn't have had that without them.
Right. 100%.
Full stop.
100%. 100%.
Or I'll charge a little bit more to the client, and that extra goes to them.
Yeah. Yeah. And that portion of it, sometimes not sometimes, all the time, it's like an ego boost. Like, hey, prime example, I do a lot of food truck insurance. There's, I want to say, about 5 or 6 food truck groups here in Vegas on Facebook. I think it was 2 months ago. Somebody from one of the new food trucks in town, they just moved in from Arizona, and they went on the Food Truck Las Vegas page and asked for an insurance advisor. I want to say about 10, 12 people tagged me in that post. It feels good.
How good's that?
That
was probably guaranteed. So
guaranteed. Yeah. Well, after 10 people tag you in something, it's like I don't even have to. Yeah. And I don't say this to boast about it or it's like
I'll get 2 or 3, but if you're getting 10, you might as well just send the form over.
Might as well just give me your card now.
Yeah, but it just shows, right?
But and that feels good. Was it easy getting to that point? Hell no.
No.
It took a lot of time away from my family. Going back to talking about my wife and kid, a lot of time away from my family, and I to the point where I get shit for it all the time. But I've put myself in that situation to build my brand, and it's working.
Yeah.
And that's why I do what I do, and I put myself out there.
I like what you said too. I like how you said, like, jump on it now, get on it now, right back to it now.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people hesitate. They take time. I'll get back to it tomorrow. They don't follow up. I always get a lot of compliments. People are like, you're the only person I wrote back.
Yeah.
It's like, do people not check the DMs? What's the point of having social if you're not constantly checking? And then, if I send a message, I'll follow up.
Yeah.
I'll keep following up until they either hire me or, hey, we found someone else.
Yeah.
And Why not?
Yeah,
I feel like you're on the same page there.
Well, I don't.
I don't mean in a harassment way, but I mean,
no,
it's not every
100%,
day.
100%. That's.
But it's like picking from the low-hanging branch.
Yes,
it's there.
Yes,
take advantage of it.
They've already reached out to you. That's half the battle right there.
Yeah, sometimes, it's all that posting is to get them to reach out. Yes, so take advantage of it.
And if somebody already reached out to you, that's half the battle right there. And there's absolutely 100% no problem whatsoever in following up. It's like because they reached out to you, it's not like this was a cold call.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna cold call so, maybe every couple of months.
It's like they reached out to you. There's no. I used to sell cars before I got into the insurance.
Gotcha.
When you say a salesperson, that's a real salesperson, if you ask me, because I wasn't that type of salesperson to begin with, but you were trained by those type of people too. It's like no matter what it is, you get that sale, but don't come back.
Gotcha.
So you're trained like that. I had to kind of get that mentality out of my head because, again, going back, especially when I got into the insurance gig, I didn't want to be a salesperson. It's all about the insurance, the coverages, and I'm an advisor. So I took that approach to it. It's like, hey, something as simple as if somebody's calling the new client on the phone, we're talking about insurance, and we're not talking about the price of the insurance. We're talking about, hey, do you know what this coverage does for you? Do you know what this coverage does for you? Do you know what you were paying on your insurance prior? Do you know what you were paying for? No. Oh, well, let me explain to you why you need this coverage, or why you need this coverage, or what you're paying for, why you could do less of this coverage and maybe a little bit more of this coverage. Yeah. And people think it's like, oh my God, no one's ever explained that to me that way. Okay. Now that you explain it that way, it makes more sense. Maybe I can save some money on here and put that on this coverage. Yeah. And there you go.
Gotcha.
It's all about building the value, never make it about the price. And that's one thing I learned early in my sales career too, is if you make it about the price, they're going to make it about the price. Sometimes if the price is too high, you lost the deal already.
Okay.
Just create a sense of value. Whatever you're offering them is the best they're offering them. The price, they'll figure that out. If they want the best of the best, they'll figure out a way to pay for it. If not today, maybe 6 months down the road, maybe a year down, maybe sometimes even 2 years down the road.
But you planted that seed.
Right.
Yeah, gotcha.
And it will come back to you at some point.
And then that being consistent on social, staying top of mind is, because you might just touch someone, not make a sale, but because you're top of mind, because you're providing value.
Like we talked about earlier, it happens all the time. And people will come back and say, hey, I saw your post from 6 months ago or a year ago, and I remembered that you were doing insurance, and or whatever it is, and it's like now I have the time to talk about it. Now I have the money to talk about it.
I'll get a message like, hey, we talked 2 years ago. At the time, I wasn't quite ready. Yeah. Now I'm ready. Yeah. And they came back to you because you
were consistent.
Consistent. Have you ever had viral video? Anything that's really popped? Anything's got a lot of traction?
Yes, actually, one of my really good friends, Sean, with Island Comfort Restaurant, really amazing Guam food. I made a video for him, and again, this is on Facebook, nothing else.
Just like a live?
Actually, it wasn't a live. I made a reel for him.
Oh, on your phone though?
On my phone. Yep. Just on my phone, quick reel, with his help, because he's pretty well connected in his community too. He shared the post. I think that's my biggest, most viewed. I think we're at 80,000 views right now on a Facebook reel, which I mean for me it's huge. If 80,000 people saw my post and learned about a new restaurant that they didn't know about before, or
do you find there's too much hype with viral videos where they don't really mean anything? It's good. More people see it, but it doesn't change your life.
It doesn't.
I had a video hit 5 million views. It got me a ton of new followers. Didn't lead to any work. Right. Didn't change the quality of my life.
Right.
Didn't do anything. Right. Besides, I got a bigger number on my TikTok.
5 million views is a lot.
I mean, it's a lot. It just got me a bigger following, and that's it. That's all it did.
Right. I mean,
I think people think, I want to get a viral video. I'm going to be driving a Mercedes and Lamborghini, and I'm going to be like pimping out.
Well, that's another thing with social media too nowadays, right? Is because there is that
it's all polished, right? You see the best of the best. Is that what you're getting at?
That's how the lie behind it, if you will. It's like some of the people that like. The Logan Paul. I mean, it's like there are some one-hit wonders that turn people into millionaires. That's I feel like that's some type of false advertising, if you will.
Okay.
Because and people think that, and then that gets people into going and say, "Oh, I want to make a viral," like you just said. So I want to make a viral video, and I'm just.
Oh no, it's good.
Okay.
It's just a screen. The camera's so good.
Making a viral video, and you're gonna get instantly famous or rich or whatever. That's false advertisement.
Yeah, everyone's kind of caught up on that. I know you're a big foodie.
Yeah.
Some of your favorite restaurants in town. There's so many favorite. Can you even say that because you work with so many?
You know what? I am going to pass on that question. I'm going to plead the fifth on that one.
Yeah, I was going to say because you work.
Yeah, I mean,
what type of food do you like best? Though?
I love tacos. I love tacos. I mean, everybody loves tacos, right? I love pizza. I love everything. You know,
gotcha.
There's not one specific food that out there that I can say is my favorite for multiple reasons.
I wonder if you'd be able to answer that or not. Self-education. You read. You do courses.
You know what?
Where are you on that?
I don't read as much as I should.
Okay.
A lot of self-education is just life.
Yeah, okay.
Learn
from experience.
Learn from experience is
you're actually taking action to learn from experience,
yes,
right?
I'm taking the action to learn from it, and whatever I learn from it, I take the action to fix it as I go, and that's my self-education pretty much. I don't read a lot. I'm guilty of that. I hated reading from a very young age.
I do. I like audiobooks.
Oh yeah, you know what? People have told me about that too before.
I mean, it's not for everybody. For me, I'm obsessed. I love it.
Yeah, maybe if I did audiobooks, it might help me out a little bit. But you know, I've done some reading. But reading is not my thing.
It's not your thing. Just to kind of finish up with, talk to me just the power and just not the power, but just the importance of taking action. Like perfectionist paralysis, like just getting started. It's building your brand, starting your business, taking that weight loss journey, whatever it is. Talk to me just like, not worry about other people's opinions.
Yeah.
You know where I'm getting at, right?
Yes. So, take action is exactly what
getting out of your own way.
Just it doesn't matter what you think about yourself. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about yourself. I mean, if I can do it, I think anybody can do it. You know, it's just a matter of just do it. Just pick it up. Whatever it is that you want to do, if you want to start school, you want to get a degree in something, just go apply. That's how I became an insurance agent. Actually, going back to taking action, I actually stumbled upon getting into the insurance industry because a story that I can't share on here, but or I don't want to share on here, I should say. I got out of the car sales industry, and I was in dire necessity of needing a job. Just something, I just needed a job to support my family. And somebody told me, why don't you try insurance? And I said, you know what? Let's try it.
Why not?
And I was let go from my job in the car industry. And I said, you know what? I'm done with it. And what usually takes people 3 to 4 weeks, sometimes some of them even more, to get insurance license, I did it in 7 days. Got my license, scheduled my test, went and took the test, got licensed in insurance, and got a job right away. And
gotcha.
It was I didn't know anything about insurance. I came from selling cars. I knew insurance because we had to get insurance when we sold cars for some people. But that's the only knowledge I had of insurance. And like I said, out of dire necessity, I had to take action. And that was that.
That's interesting. What's some of for you personally, like with your social? What were some of the things that kind of your struggles? Was it the way you sounded? Was it the way you looked? Was it just never been on camera?
A little bit of everything. I've, like I said, never really did social or.
How old were you when you first started putting yourself on camera?
How old was I?
Yeah.
This was 2.5 years ago. I was 30. I was 30 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to still post stuff on social media.
Just like normal people,
It's
right?
like, well, I was never really the face of it, really.
Yeah.
Because when I used to sell cars, I used to post pictures of the cars all the time. It's like, hey,
but you weren't putting yourself out there.
No, I was never putting myself. It was mostly I wasn't even taking pictures of the car. I would just steal pictures from the website, of the car dealership's website. And it's like, hey guys, this is it. Come get your car because President's Day sale, Labor Day sale, whatever it is. You just steal the picture from the website. You even steal the poster from the website and just post it up there and say, that's how it was back in the day. I didn't care to be on camera. That was the last thing on my mind.
So how'd you push through it?
Getting into the insurance industry, actually, this is what really got me into it. Is I got into the insurance industry. In the beginning, I was doing this personal insurance, personal people's home, life, auto insurance, and then I got the opportunity to step into the commercial insurance side of things. Once that happened, I want to say 2019, and I had signed up 2 food trucks at the time, and I had some other type of business. I can't remember. I think it was a doctor's office or something. And then pandemic hits. So then thinking cap on. What can I do to help these people? Because pandemic hit, food truck business was everything. Everyone thought food truck business was going to be done. And then the food truck community put something together where they could still come out and serve the community. And this was April, May of 2020 when the pandemic is still hot. Everything is shut down. The food truck industry, freaking resilient people. Every single one of them. They, so like I said, some of them were already open right before the pandemic, and hats off to those guys. Hats off to every single business owner out there that has pushed through it and kept their doors open. There have been some ones that didn't make it, unfortunately, and in a way, for those people that didn't make it, I felt responsible. It had nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
But it for a little bit, it made put that thought in my head. It's like, shit, what if I could have done something to help them
Gotcha.
out? So that's how it really started. It was from the food truck events, and then I started going out to the food truck events and putting it on Facebook Live every single time. I made it a point. They were doing, this was back April, May 2020. They were doing food truck events down at the Hash House on Sahara, and it was an every Thursday event that they put together. And I started showing up every Thursday, and I would do a Facebook Live. Hey, people! And again, going back to the point, as if even if one person sees my post and comes down and spends money at this food truck, my job's done.
Gotcha.
Or if some person sees the post and knows that this is a regular event that's happening every Thursday, my job's done.
Gotcha. So it's very selfless the way you started.
And it was like, you know what? It was on the way home from my job. It's like, well, we got dinner tonight. I love food. We got food for the family.
So it's just a win-win-win.
It was win-win-win all the way across. That's how it started.
Interesting.
That was April, May of 2020, something around there.
And you just push through.
Just push.
Discomfort.
I kept going back every week, every Thursday. And then, I was Facebook Live for all the food trucks that were there. Some of them just happened to be my clients, and then that just took off. And then
what was the tipping point where you think, hey, I'm onto something, I'm getting some momentum, this is something I really enjoy doing?
About 2 weeks into that.
Oh, wow. So pretty early.
Some of the food truck people that didn't know who I was would come up and say, hey, who are you? Because I was always with my phone. And they thought I was some type of social media influencer.
You just said no,
say, who are you? I was like, I'm a nobody. I do insurance for these guys. I'm here to help them out, and I'm here to put this out there, put the word out there for everyone. And every single one of them were like, thank you so much for doing this. And that was my driving force at that point. That's all you needed? That's all I needed.
Gotcha.
Some of them fed me for free, which I really appreciate every single one of you.
Yeah, I was going to say you get a lot of free food, I'm guessing. I know you're not asking for it. I'm sure people give you a lot of free food.
I make this very clear to the people who think I eat for free. I do not. Some people just don't take my money. I just throw it in the tip jar sometimes. But I don't do what I do for the free food. I could care less. I can pay for my own food. And that was the driving force for me.
Okay.
It was just the people coming out and saying, thank you for coming out here and doing this. Like these food truck owners, in the midst of them cooking and in the hustle and bustle, they come out, step out of their truck. Thank you, Sonny. That's it.
That's awesome.
That was my driving force. So.
And then with that, you're networking, you're helping others.
Yes. And then that just one thing led to the other. It just I became the insurance guy for food trucks. I became, I don't know, it just took off. I can't even remember. I should probably go back and look to see what the actual turning point was. It just took off. It went from food trucks, and then I started going to restaurants. This was still pandemic time. I would still go out to the restaurants, order my food to go, post about it. So people knew who's delivering the foods, who's still open for business. Oh,
okay, gotcha.
Because a lot of the restaurants did actually shut down during the pandemic because they didn't have enough staff, or they just
a system in place.
They didn't have a system in place. I mean, everyone was hit like a shock when that happened. So some of them didn't stay open, some of them stayed open, and So I was doing it to let people know, hey, these guys are open. Order your food.
That's awesome.
Keep these guys in business.
Because and then after COVID, you're probably like, oh my God, I'm free for all. I can go wherever I want now.
Yeah.
That's super interesting.
And once I figured out that was a thing, and this was before, if all you social media influencers watch this, if any of you watch this, I started doing this not as a social media influencer. I started doing this as a passionate thing because I wanted to help some people out. So that's why I did it for free, and I still will do it for free for the people that need it. And you can tell who needs it and who doesn't. I will still keep supporting the community like I always have, and that's that.
Yeah, dude. That's amazing. Huh? Yeah. Thank you. so much.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
That was very informative.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's nice to see someone else that like inspires me, makes me want to push harder, and like you're leading by example. So congratulations.
I appreciate that. Thank you for having me.